Several countries, including the UK and Switzerland, have reported record June temperatures this year, with deaths from the heatwave having been recorded in France. A record-breaking heatwave sweeping across Western Europe is responsible for these extreme conditions, which has led to dozens of fatalities, particularly among both younger and older populations. Germany experienced a new national high temperature of 41 C-106 near Saarbrücken on Friday, according to a spokesperson from Germany's National Meteorological Service. This reading was still preliminary at the time of reporting. The United Kingdom, France, and Switzerland have all reported record June temperatures this year. France has been hit hardest by the heatwave, with numerous deaths among both young and elderly individuals. The extreme heat has also disrupted various aspects of daily life in the region, including rail travel, power generation, and outdoor events. Meteorologist Karsten Brandt from weather forecasting site Donnerwetter.de stated that the heatwave is going to peak at the weekend, well over 40 C-104F in some parts of Germany. The Ironman European Championship long-distance triathlon scheduled for Sunday in Frankfurt had to make adjustments due to the extreme temperatures. Organizers shortened the cycling and running segments. Several major public service providers are taking steps to reduce traffic caused by the heatwave. German national rail operator Deutsche Bahn has offered customers the option to cancel their long-distance travel bookings until early next week, without any charge, as its infrastructure is under particular strain due to sun exposure and additional risks such as thunderstorms and wildfires. Parts of Germany, mainly in the southwest region, have already experienced a much hotter June than usual. The most intense heat is expected to subside over the weekend, with heavy thunderstorms forecast for Sunday. Across Europe, cultural landmarks have had to close their doors due to the extreme weather conditions, while farming has also suffered as crops are damaged by the scorching temperatures. The current heatwave has pushed temperatures up to 18 C above their seasonal average, according to the Reuters Climate Monitor. This phenomenon is being driven by a weather pattern known as an omega block, which traps a bulging ball of hot air over regions for extended periods with cooler air on its fringes. The demand for electric fans has skyrocketed, and Asian air conditioning makers have reported a surge in European sales. Most housing stock in Northern Europe was built to keep heat out rather than manage it effectively during such extreme conditions. The current heatwave will begin to shift by the end of the month, affecting Central Europe and the Balkans, according to the World Meteorological Organization. Scientists indicate that this week's nighttime temperatures would have been virtually impossible without man-made climate change, which has made these conditions 100 times more likely even 2 decades ago. If you need advice on how to stay cool and treat heat stroke during a heatwave, you can read our explainer here. The heatwave affecting France, Britain, Switzerland, and Germany this June already set records, with the weather system poised to continue testing these records as it progresses towards Poland. On Friday, a new German record of 41.3 C was recorded near Saarbrücken, close to the French border, while dozens of people, both young and old, lost their lives in France due to the extreme heat. Bahrain has accused Iran of launching a drone attack targeting its island nation, Bahrain. A statement from Bahrain's foreign ministry on Saturday said multiple Iranian drones had targeted the country without specifying which areas or targets were hit. Iran did not immediately acknowledge this claim, leaving the situation shrouded in uncertainty. This incident comes at a critical juncture in Bahrain's relations with Iran and other Gulf states. The United Arab Emirates (UAE), where this attack was alleged to have occurred, has been a key ally of the U.S., providing support for military operations and hosting significant American diplomatic missions and bases. Bahrain's accusation follows earlier tensions between Iran and the UAE, which escalated in 2019, when Iranian forces were accused of attacking an oil facility near the UAE's coast. This latest incident underscores the ongoing geopolitical rivalry in the region, where Iran seeks to expand its influence while Bahrain and other Gulf states seek closer ties with Western powers. The incident also highlights the complex security landscape in the area. Bahrain is home to a 24/7 U.S. news coverage of breaking events and live broadcasts, making it an important focal point for international media attention. This constant scrutiny intensifies any potential conflict or attack, as every detail can be scrutinized by global audiences. The consequences of such attacks are far-reaching. They not only escalate tensions between nations, but also strain diplomatic relations and military cooperation. In the case of Bahrain, this could lead to further isolation from Iran and its allies, while strengthening ties with Western countries that provide security support and economic assistance. Moreover, Such incidents can influence regional stability and potentially alter strategic alliances. The UAE's stance on these issues is crucial for maintaining its position in the region and its relationship with both Iran and the United States. Any response to Bahrain's accusation could set a precedent for how other Gulf states handle similar threats from Iranian entities. In summary, this drone attack raises significant concerns about regional security and underscores the complex web of alliances and rivalries that shape international politics in the Middle East. The ongoing nature of these disputes means they are likely to continue influencing diplomatic strategies and military deployments in the region for some time to come. In a shocking turn of events, Venezuela's most powerful earthquake in over a century left nearly 920 people dead on Thursday, with authorities warning that the true death toll could be far higher. The magnitude of the tragedy was underscored by reports of tens of thousands of residents still unaccounted for, their fates uncertain amidst the rubble. The devastation reached its peak when the earthquake struck early on a Friday morning, causing widespread destruction across several regions in Venezuela. Homes were flattened, bridges collapsed, and entire neighborhoods were reduced to ruins. The scale of this disaster was unprecedented in recent memory, prompting an urgent call for international assistance. As search and rescue teams rushed to the scene, the urgency only intensified. Teams from neighboring countries like Colombia and Brazil joined forces with Venezuelan authorities to navigate through treacherous conditions. Despite their best efforts, the slow-moving response had failed to keep pace with the scale of devastation. Limited resources meant that many areas were inaccessible, making it challenging for rescue workers to reach those in need. The situation was further complicated by logistical challenges. Power outages and communication disruptions hampered coordination between different search teams and made it difficult to communicate updates to families waiting anxiously for news from their loved ones. Frustration began to simmer among residents as they waited with little hope, their patience tested by the slow progress of rescue efforts. The official response faced criticism for its initial handling of the situation. Questions were raised about whether authorities had adequately prepared for such a catastrophic event and whether resources were allocated effectively. This led to growing public discontent, fueling calls for accountability from both government officials and international aid organizations. As days passed, the search effort continued with renewed vigor, driven by sheer determination and the hope that every last survivor could be found. International teams brought specialized equipment and expertise to expedite rescue operations. However, despite their best efforts, resources remained limited, and progress was slow due to the sheer scale of destruction and the remote locations where survivors were presumed to be. The situation in Venezuela now stands as a stark reminder of the challenges faced by small nations when confronted with natural disasters on an epic scale. The international community's response has been swift but insufficient to meet the immediate needs, leaving many families still searching for answers amidst the ruins. As search and rescue efforts continue, so too does the uncertainty hanging over this devastated nation, a constant reminder of the fragility of life in times of such profound suffering. In a stunning reversal, Budapest is hosting its first Pride March since Viktor Orbán's ouster from power 16 years ago. As France 24 correspondent Gulliver Craig stands in the Hungarian capital, thousands of people are taking to the streets despite sweltering temperatures. This year marks a new chapter for LGBTQ+ rights advocates who have long faced restrictions under Orbán's government. The event is fully authorized this year, but tensions remain high. France 24 correspondent Gulliver Craig reports that several rainbow flags, displayed on the Elizabeth Bridge ahead of the event, were removed by far-right activists and replaced with Hungarian flags in an effort to prevent potential troubles. This incident highlights the ongoing challenges faced by LGBTQ+ rights advocates even as they celebrate their inclusion. The scene of Budapest Pride has shifted dramatically since Orbán left office. Péter Magyar, Hungary's newly elected prime minister, remains ambiguous about his stance on LGBTQ+ rights despite recent statements indicating a commitment to non-stigmatization. This ambiguity leaves many uncertain as to how Magyar's government will handle these issues moving forward. The presence of thousands underscores the growing acceptance of Pride events in Hungary today. While some marchers express enthusiasm for this inaugural event, others remain skeptical. The organizers have worked diligently to ensure safety and inclusivity, despite recent challenges. This Saturday's parade is not just about celebrating diversity, it marks a significant step forward for those committed to equality and inclusion. As the marchers prepare for their parade under clear blue skies, they face both enthusiasm and skepticism. The event serves as a beacon of hope for progress in Hungary's LGBTQ+ rights movement. As the march unfolds, organizers have implemented various measures to ensure safety and inclusivity. These include strict security protocols, designated safe zones, and support services available throughout the day. Despite recent challenges, Budapest Pride continues to demonstrate its resilience and commitment to fostering an environment where everyone feels welcome and celebrated. The future of LGBTQ+ rights in Hungary remains uncertain, but not without hope, as this inaugural march serves as a beacon for progress. While there are still concerns about how Magyar's government will handle these issues moving forward, the event itself represents a significant step towards greater acceptance and inclusion. As Budapest Pride moves forward, it stands as a testament to the power of community and the enduring commitment of those who advocate for equality and dignity for all. A heat wave is sweeping through Central and Eastern Europe, bringing with it unprecedented temperatures that have shattered records across multiple countries. This intense heat has been particularly harsh on Western European nations this week, but is now moving to the center and east of the continent, affecting Switzerland, Denmark, and parts of the Czech Republic. In Switzerland, the city of Basel witnessed a new high temperature record at 38.8 degrees Celsius (101.8 Fahrenheit), setting a mark that had not been broken since records began in 1874. This is a stark reminder of how unusual such temperatures are for this region, which typically does not experience sweltering summers. In Denmark, the town of Odum north of Aarhus recorded its hottest day on record with an astonishing temperature of 37 degrees Celsius (98.6 Fahrenheit). The Danes were unprepared for such a spike in heat, leading to warnings about the potential risks it poses to their infrastructure and public health. Germany's Autobahn was already overwhelmed by this extreme weather, anticipating temperatures that could reach as high as 40 degrees Celsius (104 Fahrenheit), which is pushing its transportation systems to breaking points. In two separate incidents outside Berlin, sections of road were damaged due to the scorching heat and had to be closed off temporarily. The German rail company Deutsche Bahn advised against all non-essential travel during this weekend, citing severe effects on their infrastructure. The Czech Republic also experienced record-breaking temperatures, with a temperature of 40.6 degrees Celsius (105 Fahrenheit) recorded in the northern town of Doxany, breaking its previous high from 2019 by more than 2 degrees. The local fire department reported that interior temperatures in one nursing home reached as high as 35 degrees Celsius (95 Fahrenheit), prompting authorities to evacuate dozens of residents for medical care. In Germany, conditions were even more dire. Hospitals across the country faced unprecedented pressure due to heat-related emergencies such as heart attacks and dehydration. The Paris Public Hospital Authority activated its emergency response plan across all 38 hospitals in the city, treating nearly 3,000 patients, over a third more than usual. This surge was particularly concerning for older individuals who often lack access to air conditioning at home. The situation in France was also dire, though not as extreme as it had been earlier this week, when temperatures reached up to 40 degrees Celsius (104 Fahrenheit) in some locations, including Paris. The Public Hospital Authority there declared a red alert for extreme heat on Thursday and Friday, prompting the postponement of the Paris Pride March for LGBTQ+ rights scheduled for Saturday. These measures were taken not just out of concern but also due to historical precedent. In 2003, a historic heat wave in Europe led to over 15,000 deaths, many attributed to older individuals who lacked access to air conditioning and medical care during such extreme conditions. This time around, the authorities have noted improvements in treatment for overheating, suggesting that while there may be fewer fatalities this year compared to previous years, the situation remains critical. Germany itself saw a record-breaking temperature of 106 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday, according to provisional data from the National Weather Service, marking it as the new all-time high. This extreme heat has underscored how vulnerable many parts of Europe are to such conditions and highlights the need for better preparedness and infrastructure in anticipation of future climate events. As these countries grapple with the impacts of this unprecedented heat wave, they face challenges ranging from road damage and hospital overloads to public health crises and social gatherings being cancelled. The severity of these effects serves as a stark reminder of how climate change is not just an abstract issue, but one that has tangible and immediate consequences for millions across Europe. In a shocking turn of events, Hezbollah has rejected a landmark agreement with Israel as Israeli forces continue their attacks in southern Lebanon. The militant group's leader, named Qasem, denounced the framework accord signed by Lebanon and Israel in Washington, labeling it humiliating and a surrender of sovereignty. This rejection comes after Hezbollah refused to link Israel's withdrawal from Lebanon with its disarmament, which was a key part of the U.S.-mediated agreement. Qasem emphasized that they would continue their resistance efforts against occupation, stating they would not abandon the field despite difficult circumstances. The latest developments have further complicated the situation. Israeli officials like Benjamin Netanyahu and Bezalel Smotrich hinted at potential Israeli presence in Lebanon beyond the disarmament of Hezbollah. This has sparked outrage among Lebanese protesters who took to the streets in Beirut on Friday evening, burning tires and blocking roads leading to the airport. They were expressing their anger not only over the agreement, but also against continued Israeli air raids in southern Lebanon. Despite these protests, Lebanon's state-run news agency reported that Israeli forces bombed near southern towns of Markaba and Nabati al-Fqa on Saturday morning. This latest attack underscores the ongoing tension between Israel and Lebanon following the signing of the framework agreement. In a divided Lebanon, reactions to the accord have been starkly different. Lebanese Member of Parliament Ashraf Rifi praised the deal, seeing it as a step towards acting like a sovereign state free from Iranian influence or Hezbollah's dominance. He added, "It is no longer acceptable for Lebanese decision-making to remain hostage to the Iranian project, or for Hezbollah to continue its dominance over the state and its institutions." Jibrin Bassel, leader of the Free Patriotic Movement, expressed hope for responsible engagement with the agreement. However, he also acknowledged that there would be challenges in implementing it fully. The agreement does not force Israel to withdraw from southern Lebanon. As Al Jazeera's Lebanon correspondent Zaina Khater noted, the word withdrawal is not in text. Instead, she said the text is a path towards normalization. The two states both recognize each other's right to exist in peace, declare intention to formally end state of war, pursue direct negotiations under U.S. mediation, establish permanent channels of direct communication and begin drafting a comprehensive peace and security agreement. Despite these diplomatic efforts, Lebanon's government seems optimistic about the deal. In response to Hezbollah not being involved in the talks or agreement, Lebanese officials maintain that the framework is meant to bring stability and normalcy to their relationship with Israel. However, this optimism has been tempered by ongoing protests. After the signing of the accord on Friday, Hezbollah supporters in Lebanon made their anger known, taking to the streets of Beirut on Friday evening, burning tires and blocking a road leading to the airport. They were protesting not only the agreement itself, but also Israeli forces remaining in Lebanese territory and continuing air raids in southern Lebanon. Despite these protests, Lebanese officials seem optimistic about the deal's potential for ending hostilities with neighboring Israel. Despite Hezbollah not being involved in the agreement nor the talks that preceded it, they maintain that the framework is meant to bring stability and normalcy to their relationship with Israel. In response to the Hezbollah-led protests, Public Prosecutor Judge Ahmed Ramia Al-Hajj issued a judicial order tasking the Lebanese security forces with preventing riots. The judge also requested that security agencies work to identify rioters so legal action can be taken against them, if necessary. This latest development has not gone unnoticed by observers in Israel. Alon Pinkas, an Israeli former ambassador and consul general in New York, told Al Jazeera that he's Lebanon divided over the framework agreement signed in Washington. His perspective highlights the complex geopolitical landscape of this region, where both sides must navigate new relationships under this accord. The situation remains fluid as Lebanese officials continue to emphasize the importance of the framework for bringing stability and normalcy. However, ongoing protests and judicial orders issued by Public Prosecutor Judge Ahmed Ramia Al-Hajj indicate that challenges remain ahead for Lebanon in implementing the agreement fully.